Hello, and welcome to Wealth is Possible, the show where we talk about personal finance and building wealth. We are your hosts, Vino, Vinth, and Evan. We'll be discussing various methods of building wealth and growing your cash flow, including the stock market, real estate, cryptocurrency, and various business ventures. Doing amazing, guys. How about you?
Yo, this thing was a hectic thing to set up right now.
Oh yeah, this is our version 2 of our setup.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
It's a little different now. You guys probably noticed the backdrop is acting perfectly for us right now.
Yeah, we got some better lighting and shit. You know, mans are booming.
We're already leveling up.
Yeah. And shout out to Micah from Spoke Photos once again. This guy was outside at Shisha and he's still
did some troubleshooting and technical support.
Troubleshooting, so respect.
This video is brought to you by
Spoke Photos.
Yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I discovered this. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's called, you guys have obviously heard of Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think Future just bought, well, at the time of the recording, Future just bought one.
Yeah. I know Jay-Z and Lil Baby have one.
No way.
And there was this other huge thing. Kylie Jenner tried to purchase one from somebody in the States, and apparently she got denied. And that was huge news.
Who's Kylie Jenner?
Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashians, right?
Okay.
So I'm sure everyone knows her.
Yeah.
Right. So that was big news.
So
a lot of people. It's right now. I would say. It seems like one of the most popular, high-valued NFTs.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but if you hear about NFTs, you'll probably know Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like Bored Ape obviously is one of the most popular ones right now. But I think NFTs in general. I was watching this video, but you guys know Brian Rose by I think I was telling you guys in the group chat.
That guy's sick.
Yo, so this guy's talking about as human beings, we've always been trying to identify with who we are, and it's more of like a hierarchy kind of thing, right? And art and all that stuff, it's just kind of show oh, yo, look, I own the rights to this art piece. It's kind of like an identity thing, and it kind of shows how much money and stuff you're making and stuff too. So it's more of it's like a flex thing, right? So I think that's why a lot of people are getting into Bored Ape and artwork with NFTs because it makes sense because people have always been purchasing art and stuff to flex, right? So
fine art, right?
It's a concept that's well known. Right?
And obviously it plays perfectly with the metaverse, right? Because now you're not going to have real art pieces, you're going to have digital art pieces. So it's everything's just lining up right now. I'm excited to see what continues on forth with the metaverse and everything like that, right?
Do you guys know the other utility to owning a Bored Ape?
I think you get invited to these special parties and clubs and things.
You're part of you're part of a special Discord and stuff, right?
But for example, it's a yacht club, right? So,
yes.
So
but is it a yacht club in the metaverse or is it a real?
It's a real yacht club.
No way. For now,
so
you're being invited to the real ones, I guess.
There's real events, and only if you don't have a Bored Ape, you can't enter.
Okay.
Right? So if a regular person that's a non-celebrity has it, you can be in the same room as a celebrity.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
That is crazy how it's
so
kind of bridging that gap.
I think right now market value for the Bored Ape, I think it's when you break down the Ethereum price, I think it's about 20 racks.
They're all different values, right? They're all different.
I know that I think Post Malone bought one for $750,000.
Okay, there's probably 200.
But there's a range. There's a range. There's rare ones and then there's non-rare ones and whatever.
Yeah.
I think they start around you can get one for as low as 20 racks around there.
No way. So Future got one of the cheaper ones.
I don't know. You said he bought it for 20.
It's either 20 or 200 racks. Don't quote me.
If it's Future, bro, it's probably 200 racks.
I think it's 200 and But do you guys know what they initially sold for?
Probably a couple $100, right?
Yeah, it was $125 or something.
So I saw this post where someone bought it for $10,000, sold it for I think 120.
Yeah. What do you guys think that the value is going to continue to rise on these things? Do you feel like?
Oh yeah.
You feel like it's going to be like the Mona Lisa,
I feel like there's certain ones that will continue rising. Certain ones, for whatever reason, they'll lose their value, not really grow as much.
But you think that the Bored Ape, since it's one of the, I would say it's probably the first most popular one where the mainstream artists and people are getting into it. Do you feel like the Bored Ape, because it's the first one, is going to be like the Mona Lisa or something comparable to the Mona Lisa? Do you guys think it's going to be something like that?
I guess at this point it is.
Everyone's basically, because all the celebrities hopped on it, like everyone's trying to come up with their own product. There's so many projects out right now.
I can't keep track right now.
I know there's a Pokemon one. There's a whole bunch of them. That actually segues into what I was going to talk about next, which is there's a new ape club. It's called the Fat Ape Club.
No way. Okay.
Right? And that's what I discovered the other day.
Jeez. When is that being released?
It was released November 1st.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Right? And that's why as I was telling
that's
you
why it's new
air,
right now, because we're filming November 28th. Yeah. I don't know when you guys are going to see this.
As I told you off air, that's why I made a MetaMask. Right?
A MetaMask? What's that?
So I think Vino would be the perfect person to explain what
well,
a MetaMask is.
He's our crypto expert, guys. Give it up for Vino.
Cue in the applause or whatever.
Yeah.
It's another one of those wallets that you can easily transfer to your NFT brokerage website, right? I think MetaMask, that's one of the most popular for that.
Can you explain that in more detail? Like, can you simplify that? Because I'm kind of.
To be honest, I don't know too much exactly about MetaMask, but I do know it's one of the main wallets that people use.
Yeah, it's essentially there's this website called OpenSea, and that's where all the NFTs get sold on OpenSea. Think of it like eBay or something like that, where you have an NFT project. It's on OpenSea. Anyone can bid or buy on it, and in order to buy or bid on it, you have to connect your MetaMask to the website.
MetaMask is that one main wallet that they connect to.
And when you buy it, the art sits in your MetaMask. Actually, it sits in OpenSea. Yeah. You create a profile on OpenSea, and the art sits in there, but you can only connect to your OpenSea profile if you log into your MetaMask.
Okay.
And MetaMask has like what I learned when I set up my MetaMask. I'm sure you have one, right? Like you have that key. The key, which is like a unique. It's like 16 words or something like that, and you have to put it in the exact order if you ever forget your password. Otherwise, you can't get back in.
Oh shit!
It's basically the main security. Just like back in the days, you could just click forgot password. These days, if you forget your password, it's not an email's not going to your account. The only way you can retrieve that is with those keys.
And you can't if you get one word wrong, you can't get in. Right? But so not to cut you off, but so as I was saying, like so the Fat Ape Club, right? So there was 10,000 apes minted. It's essentially obviously they're trying to capitalize off of the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
It's not the same people though, right?
It's not the same people.
Okay.
But I did a decent amount, not too much research. That's why I didn't end up buying it.
Okay.
I was really very tempted to buy it. So they're a lot cheaper, obviously. So people obviously are trying to get in because the Bored Apes
grew in
the
value so much, right?
But this the reason I was trying to buy it was not for that. It was for the concept of this, which was crazy to me, right? So
you just wanted your first NFT, you mean?
No. Like the concept, the utility of it is crazy. Wait till you hear it. So
so
there's 10,000 of them. They're already minted. They were already minted in things. So I think they sold for 0.2 Ethereum, right? Which is
still a couple $100.
At the time I was recording, yes.
No, 0.2 is $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even more than a couple $100.
Oh yeah, because one is like what? Like
$800 $800 US, I would say.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they minted for in you had to pay to mint one.
Okay.
No way.
Right. So I guess minting, if you want to explain, is when you.
It's basically like when you print money, but this way it's like you're printing this artwork and it's being printed.
It's in the blockchain. It's getting created on the blockchain.
Okay, so when you is there like an unlimited amount of is it a finite amount that you can mint?
Well, that's where NFT is, right? It's a non-fungible token. There will only always ever be that one.
Yeah. So and that's where the interesting part gets in. So or comes in the concept of this is what intrigued me about this is if you were to own two of these fat apes, they said that they're starting a breeding concept where you can if you have at least two of the apes, you can breed the apes to make another ape.
No way.
That's crazy.
Which essentially means
it's not a capped supply in a sense, right?
No. But because only those two can make that one. No.
So anyone who has two can breed them together and get a third one.
Can you breed it with?
And then you can keep doing that.
No, but can you breed it with other owners?
That
I have to own both.
You don't want to do that.
Why
but basically, what it is okay. Say you paid $1,000 for one, and like $1,200 for another one in Ethereum. You can only buy an Ethereum, by the way.
Yeah.
So you have two of them, right? You breed it to another one, and you're holding on to these. Now you have like a baby ape, fat ape. I don't know how it works, right? But I think they said it's gonna go live in December, the breeding function, and then you have that third one. You can put it up for sale for $1,000 now. For another 0.2 Ethereum or whatever you want, and someone's gonna buy it because they're going.
That's the new ape.
It's another one,
and it's the first of its kind.
Say like maybe they probably have some sort of time constraint.
Yeah,
like maybe in a month you can breed it again. It's no different than mining, except this is, I feel like, a lot more efficient.
You know what it is, man? Yo, I
that's what intrigued me. I was like, yo, should I just buy more Ethereum right now and buy 2 apes?
legit.
Why not?
Because bro, like they have some NFT projects that are free. I think we should invest into like getting at least like a free or cheap one.
Yeah.
Just so that we can kind of understand like the whole.
Well, like the thing is, like,
community.
You want to do a lot of research because a lot of them are scams. There's a lot of scams out there, and also, like, for example, like I joined the Fat Ape Club Discord.
Yeah.
And
can you join it without a fat ape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like any Discord. Like there's public Discords out there, but from there they literally advertise, hey, there are scammers out there that will DM you saying, hey, we're creating more fat apes, but they're not created. They already said it's capped at 10,000.
There's gonna be scammers.
It's capped at 10,000 apes. So that's why there's 10,000 apes in the world forever until the breeding function starts. That's when 1, 2.
There will ever be more.
So, but that's how they get you to they'll incentivize you to buy more than one ape, right? I was gonna get one, but I'm like, there's no point in me buying it unless I can get two, right? But at the same time, I didn't do that much research. Or
can't you link up with someone else that has one? Or
I don't think that's how it works. Okay. I got a DM right away saying, hey, we're creating 777 more. 777. I was like, oh shit. And then you go on it and it's like, okay,
you can tell
it's like enter your social insurance number.
No. It's like someone brand new would not be able to tell the difference. I almost thought it was like I wasn't gonna buy it because like I would have to do like, that's just how I work now, but like I have to do so much research before I put that kind of money into it, because it's like right now we just launched this
for a second.
And then you go back and you look on the actual thing, they're like, there's literally so many different versions, but you have to click on fatapeclub.io and then go to the website and go here, and that's the only the official one. Everything else is a fake. So they're labeled Fat Ape Club 1, and then there's also Fat Ape Club 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whatever. There's one where it's like there's like all these like flashing, like a GIF or a GIF or whatever. Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know.
I think it's a GIF. Yeah. Or a GIF.
Doesn't get roasted.
Yeah. Leave it down in the comment section.
What do you guys think it is?
We're still not gonna be able to hear what you said though. Right? Yeah. Yo, if you guys are enjoying this content, by the way, make sure you guys like the video. It really helps us.
Please do, guys.
You also share it. Share it to mans that you think would enjoy it.
And the podcast.
And the podcast. Yeah, you guys. We're also on Spotify. Yeah, all the links are down below. And
Spotify and Apple Music and all, wherever, Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. We're on all platforms.
We can put it on all?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we can put it on all. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna be on all of them. So we got you guys, and make sure you guys hit subscribe and the bell notification button so you guys know exactly when we drop this shit. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyways, let's just continue on.
Let's get back on track.
There's this new type of bread. I know it's like we're going from fat apes to bread.
Is it like actual bread or like money bread?
It's consumable bread.
It's like gluten bread.
I don't know what it's made from.
Is this in real life or
it's
NFT?
Called Hero Bread.
Is it NFT?
No, this is real bread. No, this is real bread.
Okay,
but this relates.
We're not in the metaverse right now.
This relates to it. So it's called Hero Bread. Have you guys ever heard of Hero Bread?
I've heard of Hero Burger.
Okay, so Hero Bread, it's a company.
Yeah.
And some of the investors in Hero Bread are, the early investors are Tom Brady, Kevin Durant, The Weeknd.
Jeez.
These are all household names, you know?
Yeah, and there's a couple of venture capital firms in this, but the main one is Tom Brady because Tom Brady is very careful about what he puts in his body.
Yeah.
And he said he doesn't eat bread. He's not a big fan of bread, but he eats this.
Okay.
And let me tell you the what's it called?
Composition.
Like I don't know what you call it, the protein and all that. Whatever.
Yeah.
You call that?
The compounds.
The nutrients. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna roast it. I think it's the macros. It's the macros. I think, right?
I don't know. I don't want to get to the.
Okay. So it's zero carbs.
Yeah.
Zero carbs.
Okay.
In bread. Okay.
But bread is mentioned. But bread is a carb. So is it even bread?
This is exactly. I haven't done that much research into it.
Yeah.
It's 100 calories.
Is this like made out of wheat or is this like made out of like fucking like like crickets or some shit.
I have no
Or,
idea.
like some soy.
I have no
meat
idea,
shit.
but Tom Brady eats it. He said he's gonna eat it.
I don't know, bro.
Okay, but
Yeah.
here, so Subway is gonna start offering it as a pilot,
He already got it with Subway. Okay.
right?
Okay.
It has.
It's like Beyond Meat for bread.
maybe. I
Okay.
don't know, but listen to how much protein and fiber it has in it.
Okay. Okay.
Don't quote me on this, but I believe it was 50 grams of protein or something.
What?
50 grams.
Okay, and get this.
Oh, what the
20,
fuck? That's a lot,
26
bro.
grams of fiber. 26. Okay, I probably.
Is this
yelling
per
like
serving
crazy
or is
on
this
that.
for the whole piece? Like, do you eat the whole thing?
I think
or
it's,
do you-
I think it's the whole bread, like a foot long,
Okay, so you're not. Oh, okay, okay,
like
okay,
a full long
okay.
sub.
Bro, that's insane.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like a high protein
Yeah.
style.
So
okay.
Yeah.
so get this right. So all these people invested, right?
Mhm.
All these people got in before the Subway deal. I'm assuming. Obviously, regular retail investors will never hear about this deal until after. You know, I think I heard about it on some podcast or some. I don't remember where.
So
I
it
heard
wasn't
it.
a Discord. You weren't.
No. Imagine being in the room with Tom Brady and these people,
Yeah.
and you know the Weeknd and Kevin Durant when they first got pitched this idea. So
Okay.
imagine like
Were
in
they
the
all
future-
pitched at? Were they all pitched at the same time or? Were
No,
they
no,
pitched
I have
at-
no idea, but
okay.
they're all just investors in it,
Yeah,
early
yeah.
investors. Venture capital is where a lot of money is made,
Yeah.
but irregular, it's mostly celebrities and like the really up people that get pitched these concepts that can that go huge.
Yeah,
right.
I
Like
feel like for them to even like get a hold of like these guys and like actually have the guys pay attention, it has to be something.
Most likely.
I think that's what it is, right?
There's a lot of duds, but like there's a lot of ones that people make hundreds of millions. Like for example, Nas got into Coinbase like
Yes.
Yeah.
really early.
He
It's
made
the
a
same
big
concept.
bag
it's
of
the
it.
same thing.
Money Man's been
Yeah.
like Money Man the rapper. You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always send you his stuff.
He invested in Coinbase pre-IPO.
No,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think he
talking
was
about.
on Coinbase, but he
But I'm
always
talking
talks
about
about like
Bitcoin
just crypto
and,
in
like,
general.
I'm
Ethereum
talking
and
about.
stuff,
I'm talking about they invested in Coinbase before it went public.
No, yeah. No, Nas
Right?
Nas was one of them. I
Nas
don't
was
know
in
who else,
Coinbase,
but yeah.
Imagine the future, just because you own a Bored Ape, you can get into these kind of deals because you
You're in the
become
same
friends
room.
with the celebrities.
Mm.
You know, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
of. That's how it kind of connected all together.
That's like a sick barrier of entry, right? Like
Yeah.
if you just investing into that, like
Mhm,
whether
mhm.
you drop a lot of money or not. I was literally talking about this with Sujin, like one of our other buddies and shit.
Yeah.
There's like a Tony Robbins like training program, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that you got to drop $100,000 to be part of that training program.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, that's a barrier of entry, so that you can be in the table of other men that dropped $100,000.
Yeah.
That is your barrier of entry to that community, right? So I think
Yeah.
like NFT scene, like if that's bringing you into like a community of like other like elite people, like
Mhm.
the opportunities are beyond money right now.
And
I
it's
think
crazy because you could have gotten that NFT when it was really cheap.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And now because you just held on to it,
Yeah.
you have access. You have all this value in that NFT. It's an amazing concept.
I think it's like really part of that whole great wealth distribution
Yeah,
that's
it's
happening
the
right now.
wealth
Yo, it's
redistribution.
100%.
it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
It's
the banks are not happy right now.
Banks are I think like I think everything in the physical realm right now is tripping out right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All the brick and mortar institutions are like, bro, we need to get into this. So like I
Mhm.
think they are going
And
on a
adapt.
hiring spree to like learn about more about the metaverse because like yo,
Yes.
that's the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of this like whole lockdown and stuff like really like push the metaverse and stuff to like come
Oh,
out and
yeah.
stuff too, right?
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think it's all part of the agenda.
All right.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. All right, guys, we're back with Wealth is Possible. Na-na-na-na-na.
We gotta figure out some music.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
gotta
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
it out.
Our audio guy will get that.
Yeah,
Right?
we got to hire out a third party for that one. Yeah.
So welcome back, guys, to the stock market episode. The first stock market episode
I like stocks.
of Wealth is Possible.
Oh yeah, I love stocks.
Yes. Yeah, especially me.
So, guys, we're gonna be talking about the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about investing. We're gonna talk about long-term investing,
Mhm.
risk tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be talking about what to do before you invest for the first time.
We're pretty much going to set you guys up for stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking stocks. Nothing too crazy right now, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun little segment here.
Just a little chit chat about some stocks and a little bit of our
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Just,
So let's
just
start.
a little bit.
Yeah,
little chit chat.
Yeah. So let's start it off.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our journey, our individual journeys.
Mhm.
Into the stock market. When
Right.
we first invested. How do we feel? What did you invest in?
Mhm.
What did you know at the time?
Mm.
What did you learn since then? Heaven, why don't you start us off?
Yeah.
With your stock
Oh
market
man,
journey?
stocks, bro. I've had like a uphill battle with stocks.
Mm.
Like, bro, like I didn't get it for the longest time. I still don't think I get it like that.
I mean, that goes with anything though, right?
Yeah, right. But like I remember I had this weird bank.
Was it one of those?
It was like either EQ Bank or
EQ
it
Bank.
was
It was EQ Bank.
no, it was Tangerine.
Oh,
It was
Tangerine.
Tangerine. Because I read this book, Value Simple,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of showed you how to set up like ETFs and like whatever,
Yes.
like index funds. I think I think I had an index fund. I'm not too sure what I had. It was when I worked in like corporate.
Yeah,
Like I had like that's when I started to look into like investing and shit like that because I made a little bit extra coin and shit, right?
It's funny. It's funny how like everyone says corporate America.
Yeah.
Corporate Canada sounds weird.
Yeah. Corporate is just I don't know. In my opinion, is pretty cussy. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'll tell you that.
Definitely not for me either.
Yeah, it's not for me, but that's when I looked into it. I set up something that like I think it was some sort of index fund because like I was getting like a annual percent on my money.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was like 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know. What it was.
That's high interest. Damn, bro.
That for like a.
Was this 1979?
Yo, bro, trust me. Yo, when I saw that I made a few cents on the money I put in there, or like a few dollars and shit, I was like, bro, am I rich? I cashed it out. I cashed it out.
You cash it out when you realize that you could be doing much better things with that.
Yeah,
money, right?
But no. But like that was
When was this?
Bro, this is 2019.
How long
So-
did you have it for?
Years, I'll say like a year and something.
Year and a half.
But I was putting in money into it regularly. I had it automatically going into the account, and then that was like one of the things. Like so, like you guys know this, but like those of you guys that are watching
Or listening?
yeah. So I actually moved to like Thailand, and well, not Thailand, Southeast Asia. So I lived in Thailand for a month, and then I lived in Malaysia for a month, and I lived in Bali for a month.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've been pretty much working since like I was in grade 11, so that's since 2011, right? And I was like, bro, I don't know what it was. Like I was just tired of the Matrix. I was just tired of the same shit over and over again. I'm like, fuck this shit. I read this book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. I read that book the first time, and I'm like, that's when I really opened my mind to like like just living remotely and like kind of leaving and shit. And then after that, when I reread it, I just followed the steps. So one of the steps was like to sell all your shit. So I literally sold all my shit, and that GIC that we had, that or GIC or whatever I was invested in, was one of the things, one of my reserve funds that I used to like fund that whole trip and like live out there and stuff, right? Well, I'll talk more about like living abroad and stuff like in another episode, but like right
We
now
got a lot of content.
we got too much content right now, but yeah, right now we'll just go back to GIC. So that's what happened to the GIC. And then I think I tried to buy individual stocks, but like it was
interesting.
yeah, but like
What was the first one? What was the first one?
I don't know, bro. I actually don't remember.
Where would you look to like, find like what ideas
Like
on what to buy?
like YouTube. It was like
YouTube?
YouTube, yeah, like mainstream YouTube. I was like literally looking at stocks like Apple and like shit like that. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, yo, this is mad expensive and shit, right? All of this was done through Wealthsimple. Because Wealthsimple is what really made it like easier and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the whole interface was like it made sense. Because I remember like I tried to set something up with Questrade.
Yep.
Bro, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I bank with RBC. So I think I tried to buy stocks with RBC as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the RBC platform made no sense.
This is back in 2019, right?
Back in
Yeah.
2019, 20, even 2020. I would say
Yeah.
early 2020. Like I didn't really get it. Even though I knew like investing in certain stocks like Apple and like all the mainstream guys like Facebook was doing well because of the mainstream buzz. Just based off my previous research with like the books and stuff I read, I know to never follow the mainstream buzz for like almost anything.
Exactly.
Right? Because I think there's a saying they say, be greedy when everybody is fearful and be fearful when everybody's greedy. So, I follow that rule, but because of that rule, I've been in like an analysis paralysis and I had to do shit. So like, I was losing my money at like to inflation, by just keeping like a savings account and like the basic shit, And then I think Wealthsimple came along, and then that kind of made things easier, and then Vinth came along, right? And then that's when I really got more into stocks, and like I started to kind of understand, because we invest in like a unique niche that we will be talking about down the road. I think it's like with Vinth is like I would like with you is like when I learned about like all the fundamentals and like shit, because like I knew there's fundamentals and principles you got to follow when you're investing in stocks, but to me that just seems so foreign to learn about all that shit, right? Because like at that time I was learning about Amazon FBA. While I was learning Amazon FBA, like I got into real estate. So like I kind of just focused more of my attention on those things. I was Amazon, real estate, and then it was going to be stocks. So right now I'm in real estate. So once I get that down, I'm going to be going more into stocks and like learning more about like the fundamentals and day trading and all that stuff. But until then I have it. I think I started with like $25 or like $50 or something.
Yeah.
And then after like that became like...
Hey, there's large cap stocks you can buy for... Not large cap, but mid cap stocks. Oh, we'll talk about what mid cap and large cap is
yeah.
a little later. But there's large mid cap stocks you could definitely buy for 20 bucks, $10, $15.
Yeah. That became a couple $100, and then that compiled to like I think the most I put at one time was like 1,000 something.
Did you watch the stock market every day? And
No. I never watched the stock market. Once I seen that return, I think that's when like my whole idea of money changed, because I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, okay, I just made this right now for doing absolutely nothing.
The only thing you did was invest in that company.
Yeah, stocks became less of something like clicking
foreign.
a button.
It's not foreign anymore.
Like essentially, like I remember like when I made that return is when I was like, okay, I'm investing in like a legitimate company right now, and I'm owning shares and shit. This is pretty like sick. Yo, to me, like completely honest, like it's still foreign for me. It's still foreign for me. Like
that's what this
podcast. It hasn't been that long, right?
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been that long, but I've over the years, I think especially 2021, like I've actually already kind of started to learn a little bit about like just like the wicks and like all the candles and shit. Like I'm starting to like watching that. What's that Asian guy on YouTube that makes it? He has like that accent, but he has a sick accent.
The Fire Grind?
No.
You're thinking of
there's a guy.
Steven Ducks.
No.
Trust me,
it's
it's Steven Ducks.
It's not him. He's
a day trader.
When you search about how to day trade, he's one of the main.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Steven
about.
Ducks?
No,
It's
it's
Steven
somebody
Ducks.
else.
It's not Steven Ducks.
It is
You know,
Steven Ducks.
I know who
Vito
he's
knows him.
talking
Vito
about.
knows him for sure.
I think he's Malaysian actually.
The Malaysian, he has like the
Yeah,
accent.
yeah.
No, he has that accent.
I forgot his
So
name.
where does he live?
He's one of the
Is
top.
he American? Is he in the States or is he in Malaysia?
He's in Malaysia.
I think
he's
he's
in
Malaysian.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
he's one of the
it's different
top educators
on YouTube for like day trading and
everything
stuff.
like
Yeah,
that, I would
yeah.
say.
Steven Ducks is up there too. He
Yeah,
he
yeah.
I
does
don't think
lectures
it's
and
Steven-
shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
He does
Nice.
like lectures at like universities and shit.
Jeez.
See,
okay.
yo, that's the
Like,
thing.
he
Like,
started off as a student trying to make extra money. That's how he got into day trading, because he
yeah.
couldn't afford to.
yo, day trading
for
is like
school.
is a very like it's a valuable skill to
It's
learn.
an amazing
Like,
But let's not confuse day trading with investing. Is what
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's two different things, apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the
investing.
stock market in general.
Yeah, we're talking
right?
about the stock market, but we don't want to get into day trading per se, because there's a whole
That's a whole
different
other world.
beast.
Yeah,
universe.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
We
But
want
yo,
to talk about
that is something that like I want to like focus more on over 2022.
Yep.
Right. Once I get my real estate stuff out of the way, like I mentioned, right? But stock market's insane. But then now there's not now, but like the crypto market is also insane as well. So like it's like I gotta go down the rabbit hole like a little bit deeper and shit.
Yeah,
especially with
we'll
this
get
Metaverse
into
shit.
the returns. We'll get into the returns.
I mean, I
percentages
actually
and stuff.
like invested in crypto before the stock.
Yeah. Yo, I remember Vino was like a Bitcoin believer, like bro, like since
I wouldn't say
time,
super early,
like,
but like I mean, I started researching probably 2018ish.
Yeah.
Cause back in the day, like me and Vino used to link up bare, and like we'd be like sitting in the car and stuff, like and like we'd just be scratching our heads
We'll
and
just
shit.
be planning out how to make
bro,
it.
we're like cause we both knew that we wanted to be like wealthy and stuff, but we're like, yo, bro, we're doing something wrong. We gotta figure this shit. That's something that came out of our mouth a lot. We gotta figure this shit out. We gotta figure this shit out. Yeah, 100%. Right, and then we just kind of went our own ways and figured out our own shit in our own ways, which is
So Vino, why don't you get into your stock market?
Yeah,
journey?
so like I said, the first investments that I ever did was crypto, but I knew that I wanted to get into the stocks at that time. I just didn't really have any guidance at all.
Yeah.
And then I would say 2020 actually from you I started asking you questions and everything once I started to get to know that you were in that field a little bit, and you basically showed me a little bit of the ropes, and I never had a TFSA, and I had finally opened up my first one through Wealth Simple, and I bought my first stock. I believe it was a REIT, real estate investment trust.
Was it Ryokan?
It was Ryokan.
I think I had a Ryokan too.
Yeah,
I think I had a
so,
Ryokan.
We all had Ryokan.
Yeah, at the
I mean, I
beginning,
personally, I felt really comfortable with that because I had already seen the name, at a bunch of
like
plazas.
everything in Canada, almost everything in
exactly.
Toronto at least is like most of the main like commercial
plazas,
units and stuff.
centers, all that,
Ryokan,
right?
Yeah.
So that was one of my first ones. I probably put in probably a couple $100 into Ryokan, and I bought a couple mining stocks after that.
Like gold mining stock?
I think the first one was a silver mining stock.
Mining, silver mining's pretty good.
Yeah. And I just started doing more and more research and learning about all the different fields, and that there's the technicals and then there's the fundamentals, and I just got into it from there, and I've been loving it ever since, man.
It's not addicting, bro.
Here's a question I gotta ask both of you. Like when you guys invested, like, do you guys have like any expectations? Like, what did you think was gonna happen when you invested for the first time? Because I know mine were like, I had expectations
like
too, right?
I knew that there was the high growth gains that you could get. I thought I definitely knew that was pretty rare. I was just looking for the 5, 6, 7% that was kind of average, that
scares shit.
That everybody kind of gets,
because anything's better than a Lisa. The low interest savings account.
Right. So I wasn't expecting too much, but at the same time I quickly learned that there was the growth stocks where you can get 50, 100, 200, 300% and up gains.
Honestly, like, with how cheap it is too, like, that's like life changing.
Oh yeah,
like literally life changing stuff.
And
like,
the only difference was like you're taking more risk, right? Because you're getting into companies a little bit earlier.
Yes.
And I always been
and the average person has no clue what the fuck that company is, right? Like,
and they won't like for years.
And they won't for years.
Mainstream, or it goes to zero and it does nothing, or gets bought out, and you would never hear about it because Amazon or Google, Facebook, they'll buy them out. They'll buy them out, and then most people will never hear about it because they got bought out for they could have been much bigger, but you know what? The shareholders got rewarded.
That's the thing, right? We all know, like, the more risk you take, the bigger, reward or gains you're gonna get. Exactly. I'd always been a risk taker, so I realized.
I think that's a commonality between the three of us.
100%.
We're
like, even for me, like, when it comes to like money right now, like, the way I look at it, I look at myself as like, bro, I'm like, right at the time of this recording, I'm 27, right? I don't give a fuck, bro. I actually don't give a fuck. Like, I would put my money into it. Like, I don't mind putting my money into like investments,
but not like completely blind.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it completely blind.
Would you buy Dogecoin?
Like,
if you just heard about it and you saw the chart and someone's like, yo, buy it.
If I get some good opinions from like people I trust, and like, I have some other sources to back it up, I might put some money into it.
Would you look into yourself, or would you be like, yo, this guy's never wrong, I'm gonna buy it?
Like, if it's like some trustable source, I would hear out the trustable source, but then I would also want to do some like light research just to make sure that it makes sense. At the end of the day, bro, like, my whole thing is like, I don't mind throwing my money into like risky investments.
You're willing to take risks as well.
Yeah, right? No, 100%. Because like, the way I see it is like, bro, I'm gonna fucking like blow that money on some dumb shit anyways. Like, I'm literally gonna blow that money on some dumb. It's either I put that money into the like my stocks, or like I go fucking buy like 20 burgers for the month or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna blow that money. Like, cause like, bro, like I mentioned, like, for the longest time, like, I've been working since 2011. I didn't have like any savings account for the longest time. Like, bro, it's like,
I think I'm on the same boat.
100%. Like, like, bro, like, if you do the math, that's like what, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We made like 60 something $1,000 in a year. Right? But like, I wasn't saving any of it. I was just spending it. Or like, I'd put like a little bit away into savings, but like, bro, like, that's fucking nothing. You know what I mean?
You were a YOLO Tom.
I was a YOLO Tom, bro.
I think the main thing is just like, we never really knew that you should be saving and then investing.
Like we never think that, you can make significant money like, we know you can make it. That seemed like somebody who like lived at home, had like 20 computer screens, and they like the stock market.
Someone on
it all goes back to how the system is set up to make you an employee and because that's why they didn't teach you financial literacy.
100%.
The super rich, or just even the rich, taught their kids, but your financial literacy is based off of what you learn at home and or what you learn or in the environment you're around most often, which is your friends and school, right? And the school's not teaching it to you, and your friends basically are know just the same as you. Then you'll go your whole life without knowing anything about investing, right? Until you. Luckily, we live in the internet age.
So, honestly, bro, the internet like did a lot.
Otherwise, imagine you would have to, unless you read Rich Dad Poor Dad and got. Even then,
you
like, wouldn't have invested.
Like, for me
like,
personally,
real estate, but then other than that, you wouldn't, right?
Most people would need a little bit more guidance than just a book or whatever.
And that's the other thing too. Like, now that I see like some of the returns and stuff, like, now I'm like, fuck, bro, I want to make more money so that I can invest more, right? Because like it took me a few years to figure out how much like I'm living off and like what I'm comfortable with. And now that I know what I'm comfortable with, like first thing I learned was like I need to make more fucking money.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back. I'm just gonna fucking learn a high income skill. So I'm going to one of the reasons why I'm going to real estate. But I'm just gonna learn a high income skill so that I can live off. I already know what's gonna cost me to live. Yeah. But like I want to invest like more aggressively because I'm like I said, I'm only fucking 27.
That kind of segues into what we're gonna be talking about a little later.
Nice. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. High income skill and
100%. Yeah. But yeah, like yo, like if you invest more aggressively right now, like then you can kind of like relax and shit, like in your 30s or 40s, or even make bigger moves and shit. Cause like yo, you need capital for fucking anything you want to do,
and your capital is limited.
Yeah, and it's exactly. You
gotta be careful with it.
Exactly.
At the same time.
Yeah, but like yo, because we're young, even if you lose the money,
you
can literally go back. Like for example, like in real estate, for example, like if I dropped a whole commission check, which is like to the average person that might seem insane. So if I drop like a $20,000 commission check into one stock, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Yo, don't do that shit." But yo, I don't give a fuck. Like I would have like my set expenses, and I would go all in on like one investment because yo, I'm young, I'm capable. I could literally if I lose at 20 racks, like obviously I don't want to lose at 20 racks, but if I lose at 20 racks, I could literally just go back outside and start door knocking again, or like cold calling and get another sale.
At least you didn't buy a designer that you can't afford, right?
Literally.
Check.
Yeah, I don't know. I never even.
I mean, you know,
I'm wearing I'm wearing a Nike tracksuit right now.
Yeah, but you'd be classified as a pretty extreme risk taker, and you know you're looking for those big gains as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, which is smart.
Because we're young, bro.
There's
a time to do that.
We can
shit,
make
right?
it back. If
there's
we do,
literally.
Right?
There's a school of thought where it's like you can take X amount and you can put it towards Amazon, Google. You know, those are still high growth. Like crazy high growth, right? Or you know your Canadian bank stocks and REITs and something more safe, and then you have a certain portion where you're like, yo, this could go to zero, but this could also go to the moon, as people say all the time.
I hate that. I actually fucking hate that, bro.
Yo, one time I was
to the moon.
I was playing basketball.
Yeah,
I was playing basketball. I was talking to one of my friends. When we were coming back from the court, back to our cars, I was talking to him about stocks, and some kid rolls down his window who's sitting in his car. He's like, to the moon. And I was like, why? Well,
yo, honestly, bro,
I was like, why? Are you serious?
Shit like that makes you.
I was like, I don't even know you.
Yeah. But yeah, like when I hear shit like that, it makes you never want to talk in public.
It's like, yo, this is the effect of TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, guys.
So we left off on we heard from Mr. Heaven and Mr. Vino on their stock market journey. So I'm gonna.
It's time to. Listen to what you got here.
Yeah, so you know, for me, my journey started a little bit earlier, 2016 to be exact. I would say I started investing, you know, a little bit before the whole legalization of cannabis in Canada. So there's, you know, I'm sure a lot of you listening got in. I know a lot of people made a lot of money during that time. You know, mostly, you know, in Canopy Growth and Aurora Cannabis and all those various other ones. I know there's a lot. I think at that time I put in like $400 or like.
One of those crashed, no?
Canopy Growth is down to like $14 a share or something like that.
Yeah.
At its peak, I think it hit like $75 or something.
The biggest thing is that most of these weed companies are not actually profitable, right?
It was just overinflated, right? One of them.
And the thing is, the cannabis industry in Canada, the market basically is waiting for Biden to legalize
in the states
all over, like federally.
All over the states,
I know there's some states that are legal, but unless it's federally legalized, the cannabis stocks are kind of just sitting there at the bottom.
They're not really gonna be hitting the numbers that they want.
Yeah.
Are we exporting our weed to the United States, or how does that work? I think a lot of the BC Kush is like one of the main ones, right?
Yeah. They're duly listed. They're probably operational. There's a lot of Canadian cannabis stocks that are operational only in the United States as well.
Yeah.
Right, and not even operational in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that as well. But moving back to, you know, my journey, I made maybe like $400 investing in cannabis. I don't even remember the timeline of how long this took. I just remember, you know, being told about these stocks and putting my money into it. I think I was using TD Direct Investing. I wasn't using Wealthsimple at the time.
Were you doing a lot of research on the fundamentals at all?
I had no idea whatsoever.
Likely,
Someone told me, and they're like, hey,
this is a good
get
one.
in. And I was actually reading on Reddit as well. And Reddit was like, oh,
that was like your.
this is before all the To the Moon and TikTok.
yeah.
TikTok didn't exist at this. Well, it probably existed in China, but not.
It wasn't big
here
here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading on Reddit, and that was just got my conviction from. Really, it was just dumb luck, to be honest. And I made some money, and then I pulled it all out. I had an expense, and I pulled it all out. And flash forward to 2019. I invested in this one stock, and I made my real first material gain in the stock market. I won't mention the stock, but I'll just say, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah, we know.
And it's kind of like in basketball. Like, once you see your shot go in the hoop, you just have that confidence, and you wanna practice harder. You wanna work harder, and it's just like you're in the stock market. Like, you make money, and you're just like kind of awakened, like it's possible to make money. Why did this even go up? I have no idea, but it went up, right? And then there's some people that will just literally, they'll get their first gain, they'll either keep their money in there and they'll lose all their money, or it'll go down, or you don't know how to time it, or someone, luckily maybe for them, will tell them, hey, sell it. But you can't time the market. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that over and over again. It's timing the market, not timing the market, right? I started to do more research on, other stocks after that, after I made that money. That's kind of what started my journey. At that time, I had no idea I didn't understand, like, for example, like the volume levels, like the volume of share traded, et cetera, et cetera. I put a lot of that money into various different stocks, like large cap stocks, like we were talking about earlier. I put it into Ryokan. This is before, I guess, all of us started talking about stocks, just before.
Just before we kind of linked up.
Yeah, I put into more large cap stocks that, I would find on like various YouTube channels, personal finance YouTube channels talking about. Yeah. The Scotiabanks, the RBCs, the TDs.
All the safe stocks.
All the, the large cap stocks with a lot of liquidity. If you look at the chart, it's steadily been increasing. I still had a lot to learn. Like, there was so much I still didn't know at the time. Right? I bought, maybe at one point I was focused on dividend investing.
Yes, I remember that time.
We all are. Everyone's infatuated with passive income, right?
Exactly. So dividends is one of those.
Once you hear that, you can buy a stock and literally sit back and get paid every month or every quarter, you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, why would I do anything else, right? Right. So Ryokan is, REITs. For anyone who doesn't know, REITs it's not called a dividend with the REITs. It's called a distribution. REITs, they pay you every single month because rent gets paid every month. Most stocks pay you quarterly, so every 3 months you get paid a dividend. I personally prefer getting paid monthly. I don't know about you guys. Of
course.
Right? Why not? But there's ways to set it up so that you'll get paid in the same month every single year by certain stocks, same 4 months. And you can kind of stagger it so that certain stocks pay you and you can get the same return, right? I was invested in bank stocks a little bit. I was invested in like oil and gas, like Key Era, Suncor, Enbridge.
I remember. I feel like I had all of these stocks in my Yahoo
watch list.
List.
At this time, I literally had like I probably knew like 10% of what I know now. I still didn't understand that you're not supposed to look at the day to day. You're supposed to look at the long term. I didn't look into financials at this time. And one thing I want to mention is that if you really, really want to learn investing, you need to learn how to read a balance sheet, how to read an income statement.
I still don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
so
and that's not that. Like nothing against anybody who does it, because unless you did accounting, like I happen to have done, like
so you learned this in school.
Reading balance sheets and income statements of public companies is fun for me. So like
you're like one of those guys that have fun like making like Excel sheets and algorithms.
I love it. It's hard, right, for anyone who doesn't have an accounting background, but it's nothing crazy. It's literally looking at certain lines on the balance sheet, like cash and different types of debt, like loans.
There's not
and
too
stuff,
many
cash
numbers
and cash
really
equivalents. There's a couple things. There's a couple 1-2 things that you just got to be aware of, and then look at revenues. Look at the revenue from like 2019, what they reported, and then 2020, and then 2021, and then 2022, and see if there's a growth trend there. And then look at their expenses and look at their if are they profitable? Do they make a net income? Right? There's nothing crazy. If you don't put the time into it, you're gonna be like, I can't do this, or and then you're gonna be like, oh, let me sign up to your Patreon and tell me what stocks to buy, and then and then you get screwed over. And there's there's this thing, I hate this, but like a lot of on Instagram and everywhere, there's people that are like, hey, you'll buy this stock, trust me. And they put like a tongue emoji or like a rocket ship
to the moon, right?
Right? And it's just like a random person who maybe doesn't even know you that well, who's following you might be like, oh, this person, every time they keep posting this with a rocket ship, they probably made so much money. They definitely know what they're talking about. And they'll be like, I'm gonna put in like $5,000 or whatever, like all the money sitting in my savings account, because everyone keeps telling me if you don't invest your money, you're gonna lose it to inflation. And then without knowing anything about how a stock market works, even though in the long term, year over year, then if they just left it for the whole year,
would have been like maybe like
they would have made like
8Gs.
they would have made like maybe depending on the stock, they would have made maybe a 20% return, 50% return. But they don't know that. But they don't know that, right? Someone's just saying, "Hey, buy this. Trust me." They don't even say anything.
They have no idea.
And then like the
about when they're gonna sell it or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And then like when the 5G goes down to like probably like 3,500, you're like, "Oh my god, my
I lost. That's it. It's never going back up."
Exactly. So like people are just like telling people, hey, buy this, buy that, we're not trying to, we're definitely not trying to do that. We're just saying, hey, do your research, because, like as, Heaven was talking about high income skills and stuff like that. Like, I think the highest income skill that will pay you the most dividends, literally and figuratively, is learning to invest.
Oh yeah.
And it will pay you no matter how much money you make.
Oh yeah.
And it'll pay you for the rest of your life. But what you need to do is you need to put in the same effort that you put into studying your undergrad. And you need to study it like that. And if you put in that kind of time, it'll pay you way more than a job will ever pay you.
Oh yeah. You got to take it seriously, right? And I think there's a lot of people that are probably just getting into the stock market. And it can be very intimidating, but at the end of the day, everyone starts somewhere. I would just say, like, just do your research as much as you can. All that info is out there. You just got to put the time in, right?
Honestly, like, I think, like, with the stock market or any other, like, investment avenue, I think even if you're working in a regular job, if you can have the discipline to invest, like, that money, you're going to make money. Long term, you're going to be able to flip that money. And, like, I think being able to manage your own money is, like, the best way to, like, secure, like, a retirement.
100%.
Or, like, build substantial wealth, especially
at the very least. You will have a substantial lump sum for when you retire, at the very least, whenever that is. Even if it's when you're 50, 60, you will have way more than like the basic minimum that you'll get.
Back in the day, like, you can save your money and stuff and like buy like a house and stuff, right? But like now with like how quickly everything, inflation and all that stuff, how quickly everything is changing too, you almost literally can't save a down payment unless you're like living with your parents or something and like saving aggressively. But even then, like, bro, like a down payment for a house hypothetically would be like $100,000, and then
minimum.
Like okay, let's just say minimum, like $100,000
in the GTA.
In the GTA, right? You save up like $100,000, and you're like, oh yo, I'm at $95,000. I'm in like a 3 months, I'm gonna have $100,000. I'm gonna be able to 3 months from now your down payment for that same fucking house is gonna be $120,000. What are you gonna do? Exactly. But that's just how it's been going, right? So I think like now more than ever, we need to learn about different investment avenues, because you literally can't even buy a house unless you're investing at this point. So I think it's like very crucial, and like like Vince said, like you should go at it like it's a university degree. You should.
Exactly. Study investing like you're studying for your finals or your midterm.
Exactly. Because if the finals and midterms isn't guaranteed to make you money, but this more than likely.
Think about it. How much hours you put into an assignment or an essay.
How much OSAP do you need to take out to learn to invest? 0.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
0. But literally, when you go to school, you're pulling out 7 Gs for a term, right?
Yeah. So, and then like you're gonna graduate and you're gonna make the same amount of money and sit next to the guy who doesn't even have a bachelor's.
And there's this thing called YouTube, and all the answers are there.
Exactly.
On how to invest. And we'll be throughout this episode and future podcasts, we'll be giving you guys all those channels and different podcasts that where you can learn to invest. All you got to do is spend time. You got to just substitute what you would normally watch or consume with, this stuff. And you can slowly learn and then have an idea, rather than being like, oh, my boy or my girl told me, to buy Tesla stock. And, and not saying Tesla stock is a bad purchase, because, you would have made a lot of money if you bought it last year at certain points. And even now, it's not financial advice, but in the 600-ish range, is a great buy, so I've heard. But allegedly. But like you don't want to just take the word of somebody
Yeah. And, we're going to be, in future videos and actual YouTube videos, we're going to be going over like checklists and key things you want to look at before investing into a stock.
100%.
Right?
We're going to go through, and three of us are going to learn together. Even me now, like I look at a lot of these things, but I'm not as particular when I invest. I look for a lot of certain things that need to be there before I buy a stock, a particular company. There's this checklist by this gentleman by the name of Brian Feroldi. We'll talk about that a little bit later. It kind of has like different scores, everything that needs to be present to invest in a company according to him. And he's been doing it for a lot longer than I have or any of us have.
Oh yeah.
And
that's amazing.
there's a lot of people out there just like him, but I think he's the one person that I've found that is dedicated to essentially teaching people how to invest and dedicated towards financial wellness. What do you guys think are the top 10 most valuable companies in Canada according to market cap?
Okay.
If you had to guess.
I have no idea.
Or just guess, I'm not saying guess 10 of them, just guess like a couple that you would say, just rattle off names that you guys think would be in that top 10, and let's see how many you guys can get.
Energy companies, Suncor.
Yeah. I want to see like Enbridge, TD.
See this kind of goes to the point where a lot of people don't invest in the Canadian stock market. They don't even know it exists.
Shopify.
Like if you were to ask me the States one, I mean, I already know that Microsoft, I think at this moment is number one, right?
A spoiler. Let's not spoil that segment.
Stop ruining the show, man.
Let's get there slowly. So you said Shopify. You said Suncor.
Energy companies,
anything else?
Enbridge.
Stocks.
Which
TD.
banks? Which banks? You can't name all of the banks. There's only 10. I don't know if all 10 are in the top 10.
I would say I would think that maybe RBC is one of the top.
You think RBC over TD?
I feel like their global wealth management is one of the
Really,
top.
eh?
Yeah.
And let me just pull it up here. All right, so number one. The number one Canadian company by market capitalization, or market cap for short, Shopify.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
With a market cap of $198.68 billion.
Wow.
So that's one. Okay.
It's a big bag.
Number two, Royal Bank of Canada.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
$146.99 billion.
Okay. I guess we do know about the stock market.
Number three, TD Canada. TD.
Yo,
Toronto
bro.
Dominion Bank.
Yo, am I Warren Buffett?
Not yet, bro.
$135.86 billion.
Okay.
This one you guys didn't guess.
What is it?
It's a real estate company.
Ryokan. I said Ryokan.
Brookfield Asset Management.
Yo, bro.
$91.10 billion.
They own a lot of the multifamily homes, right? Is that correct?
They own a lot of the commercial buildings downtown. I used to do security, and a lot of the buildings are owned by Brookfield. It's either Oxford Properties or Brookfield.
Or Ryokan.
They own, like, for example, I don't know if you know Queen's Quay. There's like RBC, Water Park, like those office towers and stuff. Those like glass buildings downtown.
Taken. They have RBC in it.
Yeah.
Yo.
As a tenant, right? Number 5, Canadian National Railway.
Okay.
They have a monopoly.
Okay. Makes sense.
They
makes
have a
sense.
monopoly.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Makes sense.
$90.23 billion.
I don't even think it makes sense to build a railway anymore because it's like labor costs are like just so much more intense now, right? Like back in the day, I swear, like when they built that stuff, like it was like okay, like not okay, but it was like normal for like your workers to die and shit. I remember I'd see like when they were building the city and stuff, people would be like on top of these cranes and stuff, and like they'd be, I don't know if you saw those pictures. These mans are like the 1920s and stuff. They're like eating their food at the end of the crane, like not even strapped in and
like
shit.
the tower and everything.
Yeah. And then like like I'm pretty sure if nobody's strapped in, it's probably common to see mans fall and stuff, right? So like
I'm sure it
I think
happened.
like the labor laws and the labor like overall price and stuff, I think it's not as profitable to build like another rail and stuff anymore,
I mean,
right?
at the end of the day, it's transportation, right? I mean, if they can figure out better ways, then why not, right?
But I feel like a lot of that had to push with one of the world wars, because like when there's like world wars is when like a lot of technological advances happen. So I think I think because of that factor, I think like they do have, no one's gonna build a railroad, bro.
Exactly. And Canadian National Railway is one of the staples in a lot of people's portfolios.
Yeah.
Especially their dividend is very steady dividend too.
Yeah.
Right, and it's been increasing. Right, and number 6 is Enbridge.
Okay.
Everybody has Enbridge bills.
Yeah,
bro. We can't make this shit up.
Canada,
Bro.
you need that natural gas, bro.
No, we guessed almost all of it right, bro. That's crazy.
I
I swear to God, I didn't even Google
I think we
this.
should go to 20. I think it's there's a lot of surprises in here. That you'll be like,
Okay,
yeah.
let's go to 20. Let's go to 20.
We'll go to
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
7 and 8 is Scotiabank and BMO.
Okay.
78 and 70
Damn.
billion.
One second,
Number 9, you guys don't.
one second, guys. Yo, if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you guys hit the like button, share this stuff. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music?
Wherever you get your podcast.
We're everywhere. All the links are down below. Check out our individual Instagram pages. If you guys fuck with us, we got a lot more of this shit. All right, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell notification button, share our stuff, and now back to the show.
Number 9, you guys are never gonna guess this one. This is a clothing company.
H&M. No, H&M.
Canadian.
Gap.
Canadian. Is Gap Canadian? Old Navy. Old Navy?
Lululemon.
Jeez,
Yo, bro,
okay.
Lululemon, bro. Okay, whole different episode for Lululemon. We gotta go on it.
$61 billion.
Yeah. Yo, I'd imagine. Like just to like get a little bit of a sneak preview into Lululemon, bro. They're making like smart clothes and shit right now.
Yep.
You know,
That's amazing.
Now you see why it's been growing.
Yeah, it's more than a clothing company. It's like a tech company now, right? So Lululemon, bro. Like, yeah, we should that deserves its own like segment.
Yeah.
We won't get into it right now.
Number 10 is Thomson Reuters. Thomson Reuters, I believe it's a data analytics company.
Okay.
Is that the one with the blue logo? Do you have any?
It's an
logos on it?
IT company for sure. Yeah.
Oh no, I have no idea. Never fucking seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen their building.
We gotta get
Really,
back
eh?
to
North York,
Let's see-
I think.
let's see what they do actually. Someone I'm sure will put it in the comments what they do. Like
Yeah.
just
I've seen it like at the bottom of websites and stuff like that, but
Really,
yeah,
eh?
yeah. They're pretty really.
Are they like
good.
security and stuff? Like what
No,
exactly
I'm
do
pretty
they
sure
do?
they
Something to do
provide
with
data.
IT.
They collect data.
Oh,
I
collect.
feel like- I
Okay,
feel like
Your
they
data
do, yeah.
collection is a great, bro.
Yeah.
That's a whole different.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong, but
Yeah,
that's just my
yeah.
feeling.
If you guys know,
What
what
Thomson
exactly they
Reuters
fucking
does.
do, put it down in the comment section, please.
Yeah,
We would love
Help
to
us all
educate
out.
us.
educate us. You know, we're trying to educate you guys. You guys
Yeah.
fucking
Let us know
educate
if you own it in your portfolio.
Oh yeah.
Number 11, CIBC, 52 billion.
Yeah, one of the banks. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the brick and mortar
Number
banks.
12, Canadian Natural Resources, which is oil and gas.
Okay, natural resources.
48
CNR,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Canadian Pacific Railway. I didn't know there was two
The second-
railways.
yeah.
What's the okay? So what was the first railway?
So there's
Canadian
CN Railway
National.
and then there's Canadian Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Are they
Canadian-
owned by? They're probably not owned by
They're
the same
two
person,
separate.
No.
I'm not sure, but they're two different companies.
Yeah.
So that's 48 billion. TC Energy Corp is number 14.
Sounds very familiar. Yeah. but I
That's
have no
47 billion. Number 15 is Bell Canada.
Okay.
Yo,
46
Bell
billion.
Canada was. I
You're
swear,
on top of Rogers then, eh? Okay.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
Rogers
but
has
I
an
think they're one of the
income,
first. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like they were one of the first phone companies, and I swear,
I think so.
they
like,
invented the phone. No, like Graham Bell or whatever.
Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah, he invented the phone.
I
think
there definitely could be a link there.
I feel like I learned that, so it makes sense because they've probably
Yeah.
been like a monopoly for so
I
long
believe
until
they're
maybe.
the biggest on 5G. I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't call me.
Well,
on that.
I've
There's
actually-
a lot in 5G. But
I've actually worked for all three major. It's one of
Carriers?
the sickest things about moving
Yeah.
around. But I work for all three major carriers, so Telus, Rogers, and Bell.
No way,
And
okay.
Yeah, so Bell has the best network.
Mhm.
Telus shares the same network as Bell, but I think Bell. I don't know if it's just cap. I don't know if my manager's just saying this to me just so
Yeah.
I can out.
So you can push
Rogers
the
and
sales
Telus.
up.
Yeah, but no, I know Bell and Telus they use the same network, but apparently Bell has a better reception out of the network because they own the towers.
Yeah. That makes
Allegedly.
sense.
This
No,
is
that makes
what
sense.
I've heard.
That's what I've heard too.
And Rogers has its own network as well, but Rogers, like I've recently switched back to Rogers temporarily, and yeah, Rogers is pretty shit. No offense, Rogers is pretty shit.
yeah, I hate
I'm,
Rogers.
Yeah, you know, right now I'm back on. I'm on Bell actually right now, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, my guy Bell, yo. And Virgin. If you guys are with Virgin, same thing as Bell. If you're with Kudo, that's Telus, and if you're with Fido, that's Rogers.
I think Chatter's with Rogers.
Chatter's with Rogers as well. Yeah.
So moving down on the list, this one is it's a tongue twister here. Alimentation Couche-Tard. Have you heard of this before?
I've heard the word
no idea.
Couche-Tard before, but I've never heard of.
Is this
that.
like a
So this is
baking
the
kinda
company
company?
that owns Max Convenience.
Oh, bro, that's
Okay,
exactly where I
okay,
seen it
okay.
because when you go to Montreal, the Max would say
It's called
Couche-Tard.
Couche-Tard.
Yeah, bro, see, it's all making sense.
39 billion, that's
You
number
learn a
That's a
lot.
Canadian company, eh?
and they pay a dividend. Most of these are dividend stocks.
No way.
Number 17 is Nutrien. I don't know what that is.
Sorry, can we go back to the Couche-Tard
Yeah.
thing? do they only own Macs, or do they own other lines of convenience stores or other?
They probably do.
Because like I don't really see Macs around as often, but
That's what I'm saying,
I don't understand how they would be.
They probably own like Circle K or something.
Let's
like that.
yeah,
let's
right. Like
look
Circle
into
K is
that.
pretty big, but you see when we were in Bali,
Yes.
even Thailand, there's
Yeah.
Circle K's everywhere.
Yeah, super.
So we
trippy.
seen it there first, and then when we came back to Canada,
They
is when Circle K started
implementing
taking
Circle
over
K
here.
down here. Yeah.
So do they own? They probably own Circle K, right?
Our great source of Wikipedia has to say about it. This is just for quick reference, guys. We don't actually get our research from Wikipedia, but it's a Canadian multinational operator of convenience stores. This company has 15,000 stores across Canada, United States, Mexico, Ireland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, Japan, China, and Indonesia. Convenience stores.
Indonesia, yeah, that's Bali.
Okay.
So there should
They
be some sort
probably
of
do
correlation.
own, like,
here,
Circle
the
K.
subsidiaries.
Circle K.
Circle K.
Alright.
My guy.
There we go.
Yo,
This guy-
shout out to Circle K, bro. Saved our life bare times, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now you know which company to buy if you want to own a piece.
Bro,
Mhm.
Kushtar, eh? Yo, my guy
Like, pays a
Kushtar, let me
dividend.
talk to
Les
you real
Couche-Tard.
quick.
Yeah, it owns there's something called Statoil Fuel and Retail and
Yeah.
Holiday Station Stores and more. As well
Okay,
as
so they're the
obviously
king
Max,
of
yeah.
convenience stores.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Canadian-based company going worldwide. That's fucking
amazing.
insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're not that far
Yo,
away.
We're booming, bro. Canada's booming, bro. Like,
Yeah, wait till we get to the United States market cap.
okay. But
Before you
yeah,
say that,
I'm
but
assuming I'm assuming their market caps are a lot higher than
Oh,
ours,
yeah.
right? Because like
Oh,
everything in the States is like booming.
Yeah.
You know?
Number 18 is Manulife.
Manulife, yeah.
Okay.
The insurance, yeah.
Number 19 is Suncor.
Okay.
Suncor.
Okay.
Warren Buffett actually bought it in the beginning of the pandemic. I don't know. I think he sold it.
I think he sold a lot of his like.
But he
natural-
bought it
Stocks?
when the market crashed.
Yeah.
And then number 20 is Constellation Software, which, if you guys don't know, is one of the tech companies in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But they actually have a subsidiary company that's also a publicly traded stock on the TSX. Constellation Software is probably, it's in the name software, so it's like the big player. They actually recently they started investing in a lot of startups companies in Toronto, I believe.
Okay. Are they like
Don't
tech
quote me on that.
startups or like?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Let's move on to the United States.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Check out
okay.
the United States.
What do you guys?
I mean, I've seen this on Instagram recently. I think that you sent me the top 10 list the other day. At number 1, I think was at 2.3 trillion was Microsoft. Am I correct?
Microsoft, Facebook, Apple. Apple for sure.
I think Apple was second.
We're gonna do top 20.
Apple.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
top 20. So
Top
there's
20.
something they're probably surprised you guys.
Yeah,
go
I can
on.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tesla obviously, Amazon
I want to say Netflix.
probably.
Disney.
probably.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, off the top of my head, that's about it.
All right, so now coming in at number 1,
Mm-hmm.
Apple
Yeah.
They're
at
number
2.572 trillion dollars.
See,
But yo,
that's
I-
how crazy the changes are because
Yeah.
even just 2 weeks ago, Apple was second under Microsoft because Microsoft was 2.3. So
Oh,
just a
okay,
little
yeah.
bit of time. It's
That's how-
holidays right now, so
I'm glad you remembered that because
Mhm.
that's how I know this is up to date because Microsoft is number 2 at
Mm.
2.475 trillion.
Mm, okay.
And
competition's real.
number 3 is Alphabet. You guys know what Alphabet is?
That's the company.
Alphabet is
They
the-
own Google.
Is the holding company of Google.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What other companies do they hold? Is Google one of their biggest holdings? or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, Google is like their subsidiary.
Okay.
But
And then Google obviously owns like YouTube and et cetera,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm not sure if they own anything other than Google,
Mm.
but Google, it's just the parent company.
okay.
Yeah, and that comes in at 1.891 trillion,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
And then number 4 is, everyone uses it, Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
1.777 trillion.
Wow.
What's that Jeff Bezos song that goes? How does it go again?
I forgot.
What is it, Jeff Bezos song?
Yeah. It's like something.
I've seen it on
Bezos.
TikTok a bunch recently.
Yeah, Jeffrey Bezos. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Bezos. That's how it goes, you know.
That's my name or something like that.
Yeah, it's a gangster song.
All right, so coming in at number 5, Tesla
Okay.
at 1.086 trillion dollars.
I mean, it's crazy because just a couple months
Tesla is
ago,
the
maybe a
youngest
year
one.
ago, it was huge news when Apple finally broke $1 trillion. Now we have
Yeah.
like 5-6 companies over $1 trillion.
5
Yeah,
trillion
yeah.
dollar
But-
companies.
but-
And there's one more that's peeking in.
Mhm.
Actually, a couple.
There's
Mhm.
also a lot more money in circulation
exactly.
right now too.
That's
so,
right.
like, you
The
know,
money
so-
printing and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
tied in there, right?
Money printing, or what was the formal way of saying it?
Inflation.
No. Quantitative
easing.
Quantitative easing, or money printing,
exactly,
as we like to say.
The way the Federal
just a
Reserve steals your
confusing
dollar.
word to make you not understand what's going on.
So
pretty much it just means the Federal Reserve is stealing your dollar.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's coming in number 6. Formerly Facebook, but now Meta.
Meta.
$926.65 billion.
Okay.
Good move, Zuckerberg. We see what you're doing.
Number 7, Nvidia. You guys know Nvidia?
Yeah, like the graphics card company, right?
Yeah.
And it's Nvidia.
Nvidia. I'm pretty sure it's Nvidia. I'm not sure.
Nvidia. Yeah. 785.05 billion.
Yo, it actually makes sense.
You know, the chips.
They probably have the monopoly, almost not a monopoly, but they probably have like a good chunk of.
You have to get the chips from.
Well, one of the big things is like for crypto mining, they use these graphic cards. These graphic cards.
The metaverse is based off of.
No way, eh?
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Number 8. Berkshire Hathaway.
Our boy Warren Buffett.
Class A shares. There's actually Class B shares.
Yeah.
You can buy, which are a lot more affordable. Class A shares go for like I think like a couple $100,000 for one share.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because of how little shares people buy. Class B shares so they can attend the shareholder meeting to hear Warren Buffett speak. A lot of people can't afford
online thing, or is
$200,000 for one share, right?
Yeah.
So Class B shares, I believe. I mean, a couple of years. I think last year I checked those. I think it was like a couple $100 versus $200,000 or $100,000 or three. I think it's $300,000 actually for Class A shares. I believe you'll get his letter to his shareholders as well if you're a shareholder, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yo, I actually love getting those shareholder letters. I remember when I got my first one. I'm like, bro, I call my mom. I'm like, yo, mom, I made it. You know, like.
Number 9, J.P. Morgan Chase.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
$478.56 billion.
Yeah, they own a bunch of credit cards and stuff too. I think Best Buy's credit card was Chase.
It's actually it's actually J.P. Morgan and Chase. I think they merged.
They merged,
Okay. Number 10, Visa.
Okay, makes sense.
$430.11 billion.
Number
Visa,
1,
the
10th most valuable company in the United States.
You think so? So Visa's beating out MasterCard and American Express, eh?
Mm-hmm. There's a number 1, yeah.
American Express, would it be a subsidiary of Bank of America? I don't know.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but
I know like a lot of people in Canada don't accept American Express because like their fees are like too high and shit, right?
Yeah.
Number 11 is Home Depot.
Wow.
Home Depot, eh? Wow.
$420.51 billion. Lumber,
but yo, makes sense. Well, lumber too.
Not just lumber, yeah.
Well, anything
like other
home,
things.
right?
Anything with your home.
Like we're constantly building, we're constantly developing, so it makes sense. It's kind of like almost investing in like a
that people know, like I need something from my house, they're gonna go to Home Depot.
But like Home Depot is kind of like investing into like a mining company. You know, you're not investing into the gold or silver. You're investing into the mining company that mines the gold and silver because like you need to go there to do everything else.
Look at the Home Depot chart.
Wow.
Oh wow.
But look, from 08 it's just like
it's
crazy, right? But if you look at the day to day, you'll see you might see fluctuations.
You know what's crazy? What happened in 08?
Housing crisis.
That's crazy. You see how like right after the housing crisis it just went booming, you know?
Number 12. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like number 12.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson.
Tylenol.
They own Tylenol?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
I swear they own fucking everything.
All those drugs.
The vaccine? Didn't they have a vaccine?
Yeah, but their vaccine was terrible.
Yeah,
they had the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not talk too much about that.
Yeah. We gotta block out the word.
Yeah.
The jab.
I'm not trying to get
United Health. I guess that's the main private healthcare in the United States. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. $414 billion. Number 14 is Walmart.
Walmart makes sense.
Can't forget Walmart.
$404 billion. Then we have
killer of all small businesses.
We have Bank of America at number 15.
Okay.
$374 billion.
Would that fall under American Express?
I'm not sure. That's why I asked that. I'm not sure. Not too sure. Okay. Maybe if any American people wanna. Number 16 is Procter and Gamble.
Okay,
you guys
makes
know
sense.
Procter.
Yeah.
They're like consumer products.
It's like another Johnson & Johnson almost, right?
Kind of. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
They own a bunch of brands.
Unilever is probably up there too, because I just feel like Unilever is like a.
They're probably a little further down, but Procter and Gamble is like up there, like really up there, like $356 billion. Number 17 is Mastercard.
Mastercard, okay, makes sense. Yeah.
318, and then Adobe at 315 million, and then it's Pfizer. Number 19. Number 19.
That probably made it there after 2020.
Yeah, they're probably jumping a couple spots.
You want to see the chart?
Huh?
You want to see the chart?
Check the chart.
It shot up after 08 too. See, it shot up after 08, and then it spiked again in 2020. Obviously,
looks like it spiked before around 2004, 2005. I think we had SARS around that time. It's almost like it's. Let's not go down that rabbit hole, you know.
Number 20, I think you guys guessed it. Netflix.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
294 billion. But yo, if you guys see how much Netflix has grown. Look at this chart.
Netflix was
Look at this chart from 2004.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's insane.
That's insane.
You know what it is? I think it's when they really changed their interface and made it more.
It's the streaming versus renting and all that.
Yeah,
right? Like they kill Blockbuster.
They kill
right?
Blockbuster, but I think it's also like they're rebranding and like I think it's the way they've been marketing themselves is like because like Netflix, like I haven't really heard about it until like around that time. Yeah, and they were really pushing it, bro. And it was like very affordable at the beginning too. I think it was like
$4.99
or $5.99 or some shit at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Since basically 2009, Netflix has gone up 100 times.
Wow.
If you so you would have made 100 times your money if you were in Netflix in 09.
I wish I can go back in time.
That's the top 20. I'll just just rounding out outside of the top 20 is we have Disney and Nike and Costco.
Yeah.
A couple other ones you guys would be Pepsi,
makes
PayPal.
sense. Pepsi over Coca-Cola?
I would say Coca-Cola is probably over Pepsi.
Oh yeah. Coca-Cola is at number 30, and Pepsi is at 34. Pepsi has more future growth. Coca-Cola has grown out so much, but Coca-Cola has kind of
plateaued.
Pepsi has a lot more upside. It's a lot younger of a company as well.
Yeah.
There's this CEO, I forget what company. He makes a salary of $1 million a year. So Warren Buffett makes $1.5 million per day off of Coca-Cola dividends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every day.
Yeah. That's where he bought his first Coca-Cola share when he's like mad young. The Intelligent Investor was one book that Warren Buffett's in a lot. We'll put a link to that in the description.
Psychology of Money as well talks about it.
Psychology of Money. We'll put the link to that in the description as well. You guys can check that out.
So how do we know, what to invest in, right? Obviously, as we mentioned, we're going to go through the checklist of exactly what the different categories are and what to look for. Just some of the things that I look at personally are, year over year revenue growth, the management team, their track record, the moat. The moat of a business is essentially what stops somebody else from doing what they're doing. Are they doing something that's so superior to what everybody else is doing? And then, the financials, right? Looking at those
basic numbers,
the balance sheet, like the cash debt ratio. You don't want to buy a company where they have more debt than they have cash.
Yeah.
Right? Because more cash equals more opportunities. Less cash means you can't even pay off your debt, right? Look at the Evergrande situation, the China Evergrande situation, right?
I mean, if they're not getting backed out, then...
Exactly. And then I just want to talk about, market cap versus share price. Because I think that's a big thing for a lot of new investors.
For sure. I mean, I only kind of learned that recently, right? And it's so huge.
Yeah. And for example, like one of my friends actually asked me one point, this is when I learned this, is... why is Chipotle stock $1,300 but McDonald's stock is like $200, right? I didn't know. It's because
it doesn't mean that Chipotle is more valuable.
Yeah,
it just means that they have less shares outstanding, right?
Exactly. So basically, market cap is calculated by share price multiplied by shares outstanding.
The share price is the market cap, which is the amount of money in that stock, divided by the amount of shares. That's how you get that final share.
Every company has a different amount of shares.
There's like a finite amount of shares that are available for purchase
for any stock.
That is called the float. The total shares outstanding minus the float are the shares that are held that are locked up and that cannot be traded for a company.
Okay.
So essentially, it's two different things, but when you do the calculation, it's the total number of shares that exist. When you divide the market cap by that, you get the stock price.
The share price.
The stock price. Okay.
Just because you see a stock that's $200 and then you see another stock that's $25, the $25 stock might be way overvalued, and the $200 stock might actually be cheap.
Yeah,
might actually be a really good buy.
Because there's more stocks available.
Exactly. Exactly. So
there's less flow, which
there's less available. There's less in existence.
So in terms of Chipotle, so the reason why Chipotle is more expensive than McDonald's is because Chipotle has less available shares.
Is that why Chipotle stock price is higher?
Yeah. Because they have less available shares outstanding. That's available to buy.
Yeah.
Than McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, but, I mean, both those numbers come into play, right? The market cap, the amount of the market cap.
Yes. Okay.
After that calculation.
That makes a lot more sense, though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's something I just learned not too long ago. He just learned not too long ago.
I feel like I feel like I saw this in a book. That's the thing, because like you need to know each individual definition. So I feel like it just kind of went through one year and not the other, right? So
I mean, that's the reason we're touching upon this, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people will look at stocks and be like, I don't want to invest this because it's already so high. That doesn't mean it can't go a lot higher, right? You got to look at the market cap, how much money's already in it. And then you can look at how much more money can realistically flow into it.
Yes,
exactly. And like, for example, just put out there, Chipotle has, as of 2018, they had 27 million shares outstanding. You can determine if one is valued higher than the other. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, what I do is I kind of compare companies to their peers in the space. For example, you would not compare Walmart to Tesla. They're not in the same industry.
Yeah, you would compare Walmart to Amazon,
Costco,
Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or you might compare it to Whole Foods and say, okay, listen, well, Walmart's market cap is like up here, Whole Foods is like down here, but they do everything just as good as Walmart. They have just as many customers coming in. Their market cap's probably going to start growing a little bit closer to Walmart, which means that their share price is probably going to grow. You can kind of
and
kind of
just
adding like that.
Yeah,
right?
just adding to what Vino said is like one thing I look for. That's great that you mentioned that, because one thing I look for is you look at the market cap, not the share price, first and foremost. So, for example, Whole Foods market cap was $5 billion, and a competitor of theirs market cap was, say, $100 billion. Whole Foods has more room to catch them. It has 20x to catch that.
Potential.
If you think that Whole Foods can grow to 100 billion, you compare their revenues and you think Whole Foods can make as much money potentially, that's just kind of like one of the many metrics that you look at. Because if you think so, then that's a great buy. Right? You look at the market cap, right? 5 billion versus 100. If you think 5 billion can get to 100 billion, that's 20 times your money. In the future.
Exactly. And realistically, what's probably happening is that the 100 billion that's in this company might start a little bit slowly flowing into the 5 billion market cap company, because they're starting to do things a little bit better now. Right? And it's a little bit of basics there, right?
I'm glad we covered that. And then just the last thing, we just want to touch on before our camera here gives us this little thing is, different types of stocks. There's two different methods. There's dividend stocks and there's growth stocks, right? Dividend stocks are where the company takes their profit and they pay it out to their share. They take a portion of their profit and they pay it out to their shareholders, right?
As a thank you for, believing in them and holding with them, right?
And they share it with their shareholders. And the growth stocks take the whole profit and they essentially reinvest it back into the company. There's no dividend, you don't get paid, but that company will grow more depending on how well the management spends that money. Right? So, for example, all the highest market cap companies we talked about in the United States,
they're not dividend.
They don't pay dividends except for Apple. Because Apple has more money than it knows what to do with.
So that's one of those one-off kind of companies.
Hence why Apple's going into the Metaverse.
I think that's one of the only tech companies that give a dividend.
Exactly. Microsoft also.
Okay, they both do. Okay.
Yeah, but for example, Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, they don't pay dividends.
They don't, right?
That's why they grow so much, right? Apple, grows so much and pays a dividend.
That's a really good point.
They have a lot of money.
Well,
how many people do you know with an iPhone, right?
Exactly.
Like literally everybody, except for me.
And me.
Oh shit! All right, guys. So our camera died at this point. So you guys would have to tune in for next week. We are gonna go
part
more.
2.
Yeah, for part 2, we're gonna go a little bit more deeper into what we're talking about right now.
We're gonna talk about risk tolerance and long-term investing.
Yeah.
This, wrapping up the second half of this episode.
Yeah.
So episode 2, part B.
Yes.
And stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And also, if you guys haven't liked it already, make sure you guys like the video, share it with your friends. If you know somebody that would definitely enjoy this content or can
gain some value
from it. Yes. Also, if you guys are driving, make sure you guys check us out on Spotify and
YouTube. Go subscribe to us on YouTube if you're driving and listening to us.
Yeah, or YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music. We're on all platforms. You can click the link down below at our YouTube channel.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah, don't be shy to add us on Instagram.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
we're normal people and we love to reach out. So
yeah. You know, you guys can follow us. All the links are down below.
Out here in Toronto, right?
Yeah, out here in Toronto. Make sure you guys click the bell notification on YouTube so you guys get notified on every one of our videos. And
thank you guys.